Imagine the universe as a giant cosmic apple. Now, picture yourself as a tiny ant on one side, wanting to get to the other side just to taste a sweet drop of dew. You could, crawl all the way around the apple's skin, a long and tedious journey across this vast curved surface. But what if you could, instead, chew a tunnel directly through the core of the apple? You'd arrive almost instantly. That, in a nutshell, is a wormhole. It's a theoretical shortcut through the very fabric of space-time itself. A cosmic tunnel connecting two incredibly distant points in the universe, or maybe even two different points in time. It's a concept that really bends our minds, challenging everything we think we know about distance and travel. The allure of the wormhole is simple and profound. It speaks to one of our deepest desires, to explore the unknown. The cosmos is unimaginably vast. Our nearest star, Proxima Centauri, is over 4 light-years away. With our current technology, it would take tens of thousands of years to get there, and the Andromeda Galaxy? That journey would take over 2.5 million years, even at the speed of light. These distances are barriers, cosmic walls that keep us confined to our tiny neighborhood. But a wormhole offers a tantalizing promise. It suggests that these walls might just have doors, allowing us to step from one galaxy to another as easily as we step into the next room. This idea ignites our collective imagination for a reason. It transforms the universe from an impossibly large, empty space into a connected, accessible landscape, ripe for discovery. The story of the wormhole begins not in a Hollywood studio, but in the mind of Albert Einstein. Back in 1935, working alongside his colleague Nathan Rosen, Einstein was exploring the bizarre mathematics of his own theory of general relativity. They were trying to understand the nature of elementary particles and, stumbled upon a peculiar solution to the equations. This solution described a bridge connecting two different points in space-time. This structure, later dubbed the Einstein-Rosen bridge, was the first scientific description of what we now call a wormhole. It was a purely theoretical construct, a mathematical curiosity born from the strange new rules of gravity. For decades, the Einstein-Rosen bridge remained a footnote in theoretical physics. The idea didn't really capture the public's imagination until it was given its catchy new name. In the 1950s, the brilliant physicist John Archibald Wheeler, who also coined the term black hole, named these structures wormholes, solidifying the perfect analogy of an apple-boring worm. Wheeler's work explored their properties further, asking the critical question, could something or someone actually travel through one? This question shifted the wormhole from a mere calculation to a potential vessel for cosmic exploration. It was science fiction, however, that truly launched the wormhole into stardom. Writers and filmmakers saw the incredible narrative potential of these cosmic tunnels. They became the go-to plot device for sending characters across the galaxy in the blink of an eye, bypassing the inconveniently large distances between stars. From television shows like Star Trek Deep Space Nine with its stable Bajoran wormhole, to blockbuster movies like Interstellar, which used a wormhole near Saturn as a gateway to a new galaxy, these stories made the concept a household name. This pop culture spotlight had a fascinating effect back in the world of science. The physicist Kip Thorne, who served as the scientific advisor for the movie Interstellar, was famously challenged by his friend Carl Sagan to devise a scientifically plausible way for humans to travel through a wormhole for Sagan's novel Contact. This challenge pushed Thorne to seriously investigate the physics of traversable wormholes. He concluded that while incredibly difficult, it wasn't theoretically impossible. You would need something called exotic matter, a mysterious substance with negative energy, to prop the wormhole open long enough for someone to pass through. So, if Einstein's equations allow for wormholes, why haven't we found one? The universe is a big place, but the challenges are more fundamental than just searching. According to our current understanding, a naturally occurring wormhole, an Einstein-Rosen bridge, would be catastrophically unstable. The moment it forms, the immense gravitational forces would cause it to pinch off and collapse into a singularity in a fraction of a second. It would snap shut faster than a beam of light could even make it through. Trying to travel through one would be like trying to leap through a doorway that slams shut at 1 billion miles per hour. It's a one-way ticket to oblivion. This is where the idea of exotic matter comes into play. To keep a wormhole open and stable, you'd need to line its throat with a substance that acts as a kind of anti-gravity scaffold. This is what Kip Thorne and his colleagues theorized. Exotic matter would have properties unlike anything we've ever observed. most notably negative mass or negative energy density. Imagine something that weighs less than nothing. If you pushed it, it would accelerate toward you instead of away from you. This strange material would exert a repulsive gravitational force, pushing the walls of the wormhole outward and preventing its collapse, making it traversable. The problem, of course, is that we have never found, created or even observed exotic matter. It lives only in the realm of theoretical physics. While some quantum phenomena, like the Casimir effect, show hints of localized negative energy, we have no idea how to gather enough of it to stabilize a wormhole large enough for a person or a spacecraft. It's like knowing you need a magical, anti-gravity metal to build a flying carpet, but having no idea where to find this metal or if it even exists in our universe. It remains the single greatest obstacle between the theory of wormholes and the reality of them. But the challenges don't stop there. Even if we could find exotic matter and build a stable wormhole, opening one would require a mind-boggling amount of energy. Some calculations suggest you would need the energy equivalent to the total output of an entire star, or perhaps even the mass energy of a planet like Jupiter. Just to create a small person-sized wormhole, then you'd have to figure out how to navigate it. The intense gravitational forces and radiation inside the tunnel could be lethal. So, while wormholes are not forbidden by the laws of physics, they seem to be locked behind a door that requires a key made of impossible materials and powered by the energy of suns. Let's dive deeper into the stranger side of wormholes, beyond the simple idea of a shortcut. One of the most mind-bending secrets is that a wormhole isn't just a tunnel through space, it's also a tunnel through time. According to relativity, time flows at different rates depending on gravity and speed. If you take one mouth of a wormhole and accelerate it to near the speed of light and then bring it back, time for that mouth will have passed more slowly than for the stationary mouth. You would have effectively created a time machine. Step into one end, and you could emerge from the other in the distant past. This possibility creates all sorts of paradoxes that give physicists headaches. What if you went back in time and prevented your own grandparents from meeting? This is the famous grandfather paradox. To resolve this, some physicists, like Stephen Hawking, proposed a chronology protection conjecture. He suggested that the laws of physics themselves might conspire to prevent time travel on a macroscopic scale. Perhaps a massive feedback loop of energy would build up at the entrance to the time-traveling wormhole, destroying it the instant it becomes capable of violating causality. The universe, it seems, might have a built-in defense mechanism against messing with its own history. Another surprising fact is that a wormhole might not look like a dramatic glowing tunnel from the outside. If you were floating in space and came across a stable wormhole mouth, it might appear as a perfectly calm, reflective sphere. It would act like a strange, three-dimensional mirror, showing you a distorted view of the space on the other side. You could see a different part of the galaxy, or even a different galaxy altogether, reflected in its surface. It wouldn't necessarily be a swirling vortex. It could be a silent, invisible portal, detectable only by the strange mirrored view of a distant place it presents. A quiet window to another world. Finally, here's a secret that connects wormholes to the very beginning of the universe. Some theories suggest that microscopic wormholes might have been created naturally during the violent, chaotic moments of the Big Bang. These quantum wormholes, part of what physicists call the space-time foam at the tiniest scales, could be popping in and out of existence all around us all the time. If we could somehow capture one of these primordial wormholes and inflate it to a macroscopic size using exotic matter, we wouldn't have to build one from scratch. We'd simply be enlarging something the universe already made for us. Our ticket to the stars might be hidden in the quantum fuzz of reality itself. If we ever overcome the colossal challenges and harness wormhole technology, the future of humanity would be transformed in ways we can barely comprehend. Imagine a wormhole network, a cosmic subway system connecting Earth to worlds across the Milky Way. A trip to a planet orbiting Alpha Centauri would no longer be a generational journey. It would be a commute. We could establish colonies, research outposts, and new civilizations on countless exoplanets, creating a truly interstellar human presence. The survival of our species would no longer be tied to the fate of a single planet. We would become citizens of the galaxy. This technology would revolutionize science and discovery. Astronomers would no longer have to rely on telescopes that gather faint, ancient light from distant objects. They could simply send a probe through a wormhole to get an up-close look, We could study black holes from a safe distance, visit the swirling clouds of a stellar nursery where new suns are being born, or analyze the atmosphere of a potentially life-bearing planet directly. The mysteries of the universe would unfold before our very eyes. It would be the greatest leap in knowledge in human history, an era of unprecedented exploration and understanding of our cosmic home. Beyond exploration, the economic and cultural implications would be staggering. Imagine trading resources with a colony in another solar system. What unique materials or life forms might exist on other worlds? How would our art, music, and philosophy change when our perspective is no longer earthbound but galactic? We would encounter new environments that would challenge our biology and our ingenuity. The very definition of humanity might expand as we adapt to life on different worlds. The sheer diversity of experience would lead to a cultural renaissance unlike any other, sparking new ideas and new ways of living. Of course, such power would come with profound responsibilities and new dangers. Who would control this network? Would wormhole access be available to all, or only to a select few nations or corporations? What if we accidentally introduced a terrestrial microbe into an alien ecosystem, or brought a dangerous extraterrestrial organism back to Earth? And what of the military implications? A wormhole could be used to transport armies and weapons across galaxies in an instant. The very same technology that could unite us as a galactic species could also give us the power to wage war on a cosmic scale. Our future among the stars would depend entirely on our wisdom. The universe may provide the doors, but it is up to us to choose what we carry through them.